So we're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome everyone to the Sanborn Western Camps virtual roadshow. We are thrilled you are all here. It looks like have pretty much the whole country represented based on what we're seeing here in the chat. And so my name is Ariella Raggi, and I'm the director of Sanborn Western Camps. And I was a camper back in a different century and have been on staff for a long time. And this is a really fun opportunity to get everyone together to talk about this upcoming summer and to start getting excited, as well as to introduce people who may still be wondering about camp to what it is we do. So, Krista, would you help me out with some of the kind of nitty gritty on the Zoom, because you are way more versed in how to do this well.
Yes, well, luckily we all spend a little less time on Zoom these days than we used to have to, but you might find that gallery view feels like you're in the room with us all, and you can see all of the other campers and all of the other people. However, later on when we're doing the Q&A, you might want to switch to speaker view, and speaker view will give you the best kind of view of the full screen. And so to do that, you go to the top right of your screen, you click on the grid that says view, and you can change up the view that way. And then, yes, we did some welcoming and we love getting to see people. And later on, when we ask questions and have time for that, feel free to unmute and ask your question in person. But throughout the video, throughout the whole evening, you can type your questions into the chat, and we will also be answering via chat as well. So we are so glad you are here.
Yes, and Will is going to throw in, if you didn't already, Will, we have a few other virtual events. We have an All About the Junior program Zoom that will be next week. So if you have some additional questions after watching this and have campers of junior age and would like to chat, or, as Krista said, we often have our best questions after this is over. And so we'll have another opportunity to kind of talk about the junior program. So we'll put that in the chat. And then, as Chris said, we're going to do have everybody on mute. But really, after, as she said, put those questions in the chat. And so we're going to go ahead and kick it off. And like I said, my name is Ariella Raggi, and I'm the director of Sanborn Western Camps. Welcome again to everyone. And when we're talking about camp, we wanted to introduce everybody on the team, and we're going to talk about favorite activities. And so I will tell you, one of my favorite activities is our high ropes course. We have a really cool high ropes course with a dual zip line, and it's super fun to get up there and do some team building activities, as well as, get a little rush when we get up high on that zip line. So that's one of my favorites. I'm going to tag it over to Tully now.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tully, and I'm the junior program director for Sanborn Western Camps. My favorite camp activity is hiking out to the Florissant National Fossil Beds Monument and learning about the history of our land and digging for fossils.
Hi, my name is Jenny, and I am the travel coordinator and registrar. And my absolute most favorite activity at camp is horseback riding. I love going on trail rides and pack trips and doing gymkhana.
Hi, everybody. My name is Will. I'm the director at Big Spring, and my favorite trip has to be going to the river. I love going down the lazy portion of the river and just hanging out. And then I love going down some of the faster moving water parts with our older campers. It's a ton of fun.
Hi, friends. My name is Krista. I am the director of High Trails, and I absolutely love any time that I have an excuse to put on a costume and put glitter all over my face and like a pair of fairy wings and head out for some like fun and play and imagination in the forest. So those are my favorite activities at camp.
Hi everyone, my name is Jamie Bruce. I'm the in-camp program director at Big Spring, and I'd say my favorite activity at camp is climbing climbing 14ers. We do a lot of 14,000 foot high mountains, and I love the sense of accomplishment I get while doing that, and also just the amazing views.
Hi everyone, My name is Callie. I'm the in-camp program director at High Trails. And one of my favorite things at camp is mountain biking. I love mountain biking growing up, and I love doing it with campers and exploring our property on a bike.
Fun. My name's Carly. I am the trips program director here at High Trails. And my favorite activity is canoeing. I love going to 11 Mile and being out on the water. And I love that long trip that we do.
Hi, my name's Elizabeth, and I am the executive director for the Colorado Outdoor Education Center, which is our overarching umbrella organization with the Nature Place, High Trails Outdoor Education Center, and Sanborn Western camps under it. And spent a lot of time at High Trails and at camp, and my favorite activity is probably just being outside underneath all of the big night skies and stars and moon.
And I'm Quinn Smith. I'm the trips program director at Big Spring. This is not my favorite camp activity, but I did see in the chat that we've got people calling in from Richmond, Virginia, which is my hometown. So shout out to the 804. But in terms of camp activities, I would say one of my favorites has got to be the spring tank bomber. We have a lot of different spring tanks on property that help get water out to all the wildlife and livestock that we have around the ranch. And it's a really fun trip we do at Big Spring where you try to hike to all of them in a day. The last time I did it, we did over a marathon. I think it was about 27 miles. It's a really good way to kind of get out and explore some of the more off the beaten path, under the radar corners of property. So super fun and a great adventure to plan that route out.
Awesome. And we have a few more folks who have been very busy with moving cattle recently and checking in on our horses. So along with Jenny Peck, we have Sarah Bloom, who is our riding program director, Josiah Neal, who is one of our ranch hands and a wrangler in the summer, as well as Dan Thatcher, who's also working seasonally this winter to help us with the livestock that uses those spring tanks. And so we've had some fun words that you might not have heard of before on this particular Zoom. So remember, put those questions you have in the chat, and we're happy to answer anything that you have. But I'm going to turn it over to Krista, and she can get our video started. Thanks, Krista.
Sounds perfect, Ariella. And this video is about 15-minute long, and it is a great introduction and like paints the picture of what camp looks like. So let's hit play on that.
What you can do here at Sanborn that you can't do anywhere else is just find a community with so much care for the individual that really uplifts you and make you feel kind of like a main character in your own story.
In the Rocky Mountains of Colorado, below the shadow of Pikes Peak, there is a place. Time, space, and community is what Sanborn Western camps offer the youth of today. The time of camp fosters community, independence, and self-efficacy in campers. The space of camp allows for connection to nature, opportunities for exploration, and new perspectives for campers to learn more about who they are and their place in the world. There is no better place to connect and to be than at Sanborn Western Camps.
Something special about Sanborn that you realize right when you walk in is this just like safe, comfortable space. And every kid just like inherently knows it somehow.
It was a big hurdle for us to be able to drop our kids off in the middle of the mountains.
You know, kids being that young and first time being out of the house and being away from home, like we had all these reservations about it.
It's always, you know, a little bit emotional dropping them off for 4 weeks.
It was scary being away from home for the first time.
It's definitely expected for someone to get homesick. I mean, it's part of the experience.
If you ever get homesick, there's people to help you out.
That's what brings you back to camp, like things like the community that is so uplifting. It just feels nice to be here.
They come back summer after summer, and it's just the same safe space that they know they're gonna grow in and they're gonna get to hang out with all their friends in and just be totally supported and comfortable in everything they're doing.
Sanborn Western Camp's mission has always been about creating a sense of self, community, earth, and wonder through fun and adventure in the outdoors. This mission has held true since 1948, when a young couple's vision took root on 480 acres, about an hour west of Colorado Springs. That dream has since expanded to over 6,000 private acres, and thanks to public land permits, Sanborn Western Camps also has access to over 12,000 additional acres of aspen groves, rocky bluffs, rolling meadows, ponderosa forests, and wildlife of all sorts.
Camp is an escape in all of the best ways. I mean, where else in the world do you get to be on 6,000 acres of land that feels like it's just yours and just yours in a community that feels safe and wholesome.
Just getting to see kids take a load off, like, dude, like you're at camp, you can just have fun. And I think it's like, yeah, does every game of 9 Square change a kid? No, but a kid having fun over the course of a summer does.
Whether it's joining a pickup game or just hanging out with friends, there is always something to do at camp.
One of the things that has continued to be unique about Sanborn is the riding program. It's probably one of the biggest Western riding programs in the country. And you know, you absolutely learn the skills about how to ride a horse, but I think what you really learn is about the responsibility.
The space of camp only gets larger as we venture out for daily and multi-day trips and activities.
No, we got it all.
Whether it be an overnight horse trip, floating the rivers, ascending mountains, descending mountains, mountain biking, fishing, or participating in trail service projects. The trips and activities offered at Sanborn are exciting, engaging, and provide some of the best moments of a summer with us. You can take in the history at the fossil beds and dig your own fossils.
Okay, just jump.
Challenge yourself at the high ropes course. Experience homestead life. Backpack to a gorgeous campsite, set up camp, and make s'mores. Go rock scrambling or rock climbing.
Yeah.
And take in the amazing views. Practice archery. And then come back to cool off in the pools that always have a certified lifeguard on duty. Or head to the craft shop for creative expression. Weekends are for all camp activities, when Big Spring and High Trails get together for themed dances and all camp events like Gymkhana, our rider showcase. Every camper gets to choose what their summer looks like at Sanborn. It's all out there and ready to be experienced with new friends from across the country and around the world.
Step 1, Step 2, Step 3. And so the lenses actually operate with different focal lengths, which will change how much of a view you have.
At the center of each camp are our lodges, the heartbeat of each camp's community. We gather in the lodges every day for meals served family style. They're also a great place for rainy day activities, daily announcements, and of course, singing and chanting.
The food is amazing. The food is just dessert. I love dessert. Yeah, Brie likes dessert. Pumpkin bread. But mostly cookies.
My kids love the food here. They absolutely love the food.
You've got a staff back there making food all day long from scratch.
He loves the camp food.
They're sitting at a table, they're pumped up, they've come in from some cool rock climbing experience, they're hungry, and they're trying new foods.
That's really good.
Sanborn really provides an outlet to learn. It really just helps you like, how am I gonna feel if I do this mountain? How am I gonna feel if I take a horse trip? How am I gonna feel in canoe?
I think waking up early, waking up at 2, 1 a.m. Just to get to the summit in time for sunrise, it's really one of those experiences that you can only get in Colorado at Sanborn.
I didn't even want this.
You guys should have had
It was very dramatic.
Nothing here really feels hard. It's just all fun. Like even something difficult like climbing a mountain, it's rewarding at the end and you feel so accomplished.
It is hard, it is a challenge, but there are always people who are telling you you're able to do it. There's always a sense of motivation that's being built, like with you doing different kinds of trips. It's like, oh, I did this, I know I can do this. Or my counselor is telling me that I can do this, I know I can do it.
That ability to kind of push kids out of their comfort zone a little bit, that chance to put them in their yellow zone, I think is super exciting.
Liam, I promise you help, just let go.
We think that Sanborn's mission, creating that community, is even more important for the youth of today than it was in 1948. The foundation of that community is our staff. Each summer, we hire over 100 staff members, including many returning staff and former campers. Our camp's medical team consists of registered nurses who distribute regular medications throughout the summer and take care of bumps and bruises that happen along the way. We look for all types of skills, backgrounds, and experiences as we craft a strong and diverse staff who all share the desire to make a positive impact on children in the outdoors.
Give us a spin.
A strong sense of fashion is very important.
Yes, girl.
I wanted to make an impact on kids the way I was really truly impacted. And now that I'm in a counselor role, I look around my peers and I see how diverse we are and how we really truly come from all walks of life.
Underlying all of the skills and training though, first and foremost, there must be the passion to work with children.
Cowabunga!
I take having fun incredibly seriously, and I think that's what being a professional camp counselor means. And then when you take it seriously for so long and then you see it pay off, it's just like, yes, I did it. It's like crossing the best finish line in the world.
The most rewarding part is that final day. We have our closing campfire and every kid ever comes up hugging you, crying, saying they're gonna miss you so much. Because kids can't always show how much they appreciate what you're doing for them and how much hard work you're putting into it. And that's proof right there when they're bawling their eyes out. That's what it's all about for me. That's what keeps me coming back.
Whether you're coming to Sanborn for our 2-week junior program or for the full month, after the first few days, it is hard to distinguish new campers from experienced campers because of the community we build from day one. By participating in challenging and engaging activities and feeling emotionally and physically safe in nature, our campers naturally start to make connections, immersing themselves completely into camp life by being creative, having fun, and feeling comfortable to express themselves in our supportive community.
You're letting yourself be born in nature and finding your own things to entertain yourself, which are the craziest memories, the most unforgettable memories you will never forget.
Welcome to the vlog!
builds genuine authenticity.
And I just feel like by the time he comes home, it's like this, it's a new perspective that they have, right? And they start to refocus their mind on things that maybe they weren't before.
And the first thing that she said to me when I picked her up, or actually debriefing her in the car, on the car ride home, she said, you know, the one thing I don't want is to get back on my phone. You know, I want to spend more time. Sorry. But that was one of the things that she was most excited about, is just being off of her phones while she was at camp, and that was really important to her.
They have built so much self-confidence because they have met new people who are different than they are. They have a whole different life experience. Then that in turn makes my kids more empathetic, more understanding of different things that they can't get if they're not living with people. I feel like they stand taller when they get home. They are full of who they are, and they can be who they want to be when they come home.
1, 2, 3, go!
The place has shaped me just by kind of learning how to interact with people in a very loving and supportive way. And there's a lot of value in just doing hard things and getting gritty and getting dirty with the people that you love and the people that care for you and respect for you. And something about it just makes you leave the month different. For me, I felt a lot more empathetic and passionate and level-headed, and I felt like I could kind of conquer any challenge that really lay before me. And so it really is only accomplished with the wilderness and with long trips and with such a compassionate staff and kind of population as a whole.
March your cheeks! Gonna move on before the sun. Hear my baby calling my name, and I know that she's the only one. And if I die rally, at least I will die free. So rock me, mama, like a diamond.
Eight.
Cauliflower broccoli.
Yay! Y'all, I love that video so much. I love it. I always end and like my cheeks hurt from smiling so much. And it's because it is camp. It is Sanborn Western camps. And like we sing so many songs and we dance on a lot of tables. And it's really just like being in that community where you will keep shouting one until the rocket goes off and all of that support. And I just wish I were there every day. And so we get that small bit of joy in getting to see all of your faces on this Zoom tonight and chatting with you as well. So we have put together a little slideshow of kind of the most often asked questions from families about camp to cover a few more of the details that aren't in the video, but we would also love to answer whatever questions you have as well. So my friend Callie will pull up the slideshow and we'll kind of go through those to get the question juices started. But feel free, another Zoom feature, you can use the like raise hand mode and we can chat with you as well. So let's get started with some of the questions. And I think one of the ones that is really great is when where you're going to live goes from being like a black hole in your head to like, oh, that's where I'm gonna live will look like. So Will, can you talk a little bit about where you live at Big Spring?
Totally, yeah. And there's a couple different options depending on your grade. For our junior program, which are our second, third, and sometimes fourth grade campers, you will live in cabins. Cabins are awesome. You have like 6 friends that live with you and 2 counselors. Is the ratio for each cabin side, so 12 total to 4 staff. There are bathrooms in the back, showers, sinks, bathrooms, and then you can see there in that photo, there's the front porch for hanging out and playing games. Once you reach the month-long program for usually your first or second summer, in that month-long program, you will be in the yurt that you see there in the middle picture. The yurts fit about 10 campers in them and 3 to 4 staff members. This is a change because the yurts themselves do not have bathrooms inside them. But from here going forward, the ridges, the age groups will have their own wash house. The wash houses are awesome. We've been renovating them year after year, and they have private bathrooms, sinks, of course, water bottle filling stations. The showers are private and they have like a changing area in them as well. And you can see there's kind of locker style cubbies to keep toiletries and, different like your toothbrush and things like that. And then, the final place that you live after you've been at camp for a while are the tents. They're our famous big green tents. Those fit usually 5 campers in them with 1 staff member. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you'll get to also have an assistant counselor living with you. So that would be a 2 to 4 ratio there. But yeah, they fit 6 twin-size beds in them very comfortably. There's electricity, so you're not stumbling around in the dark. And then you can see there in the photo, the tent flaps roll up. So when it is a warmer day, you can roll your tent flaps up and have a nice breeze flow through there. But definitely make sure to roll your tent flaps down before you leave, because sometimes we get weather and it rains. And luckily we do have dryers, but it's really hard to dry a lot of things all at once when they're all wet together. So that's a little bit about where you live at Big Spring.
And at High Trails, all of our cabins have the same footprint, but they each have their own individual like flavor and flair. And so if you can see the cabin layout here with a nice front porch, great for putting your hammocks on. And then there are 2 sides to every cabin. And so on the side is a bunk room that has 9 camper beds, or so 12 total beds, 9 campers, 3 counselors. And then the other side of the cabin also has 9 campers, 3 counselors. And then they have that shared living room space. So everyone has a shared living room that has a nice fireplace. I love the living rooms because no matter what, we get our s'mores and we're able to have those fires in the cabin. But it's also just in the evening time, rounding up as a cabin, talking about the the trips that you just got back from and planning for the next day's adventures. And then in between those two bunk rooms behind in the back of the cabin is our shared bathroom. And so that's indoor showers, indoor toilets, and sinks and all of that. So that's a little bit about the layout of the High Trails cabins. Our next most often asked question is to talk a little bit about the difference between our Sanborn Junior program and the month-long program. And for that, I'd love to hear from you, Tully.
Yeah. So the biggest difference between our Sanborn Junior program and the month-long session is, of course, the amount of time that the campers spend at camp. Our junior sessions are 2 weeks long, and our month-long sessions are 4 weeks long. The Sanborn Junior session is intended to be a tasting menu of the best activities that Sanborn has to offer for that second, third, and fourth grade age group. And so when you are a Sanborn Junior camper, you will participate in a variety of activities. You will go on 2 all-day trips, one to the river, which is Will's favorite trip, and maybe you'll get to go with him once over the summer if you're lucky. He is a lifeguard, so anyways, I digress. The second is a trip to the Florissant National Fossil Beds Monument, in which case I will always try to go with you because it's my favorite trip. Every junior camper will also do 2 overnight camping trips on the ranch, where they will learn the basics of sleeping in a tent and cooking and cleaning in the outdoors and just building community and being outside. And they will do a progressive riding program where they'll start by learning their basic equestrian skills, and then they'll go out for a few different trail rides throughout their time here. The rest of the Sanborn Junior schedule is comprised of just some of our best in-camp activities. So that might be archery or swimming at the pool. You might go to the craft barn. You might dig for some crystals at the crystal beds. But it is a set schedule in order to introduce the campers to the very best age-appropriate activities that we have to offer. The month-long session, on the other hand, when campers arrive, the very first or the very second day of camp, they will sit down and they will build their schedule for the month. And what I mean by build their schedule is they will choose the different all-day trips and the different overnight trips that they will do. And all of these trips will culminate in a long trip, which happens the 3rd week of the High Trails session and the 4th week of the Big Spring session. When campers in the month-long session are not on trips, they will choose from a variety of in-camp programming, which again is swimming at the pool, going on hikes to some of the tallest bluffs, maybe going on a horseback ride. And so the month-long campers really build their own schedule based on what they love to do and what they want to spend their summer doing. Anything I missed in terms of difference between junior and month-long session, my friends? Okay, cool. Love it.
Excellent. And now, thinking of that month-long program and the ability to sign up and choose your own adventure, I'd love, Carly, for you to share a little bit more about the trips at camp and what campers can look forward to.
Yeah, of course. So at camp, we have 3 different types of trips. Tully touched on them a little bit. We have our all-day trips that run from right after breakfast to right before dinner. And as a camper, you can choose however many all days you want to go on, up to a total of 5. And during those all days, you might go rock climbing, as you can see in this picture. You might go canoeing, as you can see. You might ride a horse. You might do some Harry Potter role playing, or you might take pictures and do a photography all day. And so the all days offered to you are based on your grade and your age and kind of what activities we think you might be interested in. Building off of those all days, we have our overnights and 2 days. Those are just one night out in a tent. And it starts off during the first week of camp with either your unit or your cabin side overnight, which is just an opportunity for you to feel comfortable sleeping in a tent, to feel comfortable packing a backpack, and then to spend some time with your unit mates or your cabin mates. So that'll happen during the first week of camp. And then there are 3 other overnight or 2-day blocks throughout the summer. And during those, you might climb a 14,000-foot mountain. You might ride a horse again. You might go canoeing. You might go to the homestead or go to teepee camp. And so there's a lot of places and ways to explore property and then off property as well. And then finally, our trips program is capped off with the long trip, as Tully mentioned. That happens during the 3rd week or the 4th week of camp. And it's just an opportunity to spend some time away from camp property. Our youngest campers, those 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders, will be gone for 3 days. And our oldest campers, those 9th and 10th graders, will be gone for 5 days. During those trips, you might climb a 14,000-foot mountain. You might do a horsepacking trip. And if you're really into arts and crafts, at High Trails, we have an Antero Artists long trip where you do a bunch of different crafts and spend time in nature. And then finally, for our oldest campers, we have some service and community-based trips. We know that those are important for college applications and leadership development. And so that happens during the 2nd week of camp. Quinn, did I miss anything on trips or anything else you want to add?
It's great.
Great.
Covered all the bases.
Great. So then, Jamie, do you want to tell us about food?
Absolutely. So, if you're a camp family or have heard about us from someone who's been here before, you might already know this, but it is important to repeat because the food at Sanborn is really spectacular. It's really great. We have an amazing team of seasonal chefs and kitchen coordinators who work with our year-round kitchen team to craft really awesome and really good meals for our program. They work really hard to create meals. And generally the meal experience, it's one of my favorite things because there's a lot of, it's very meaningful and very extremely memorable at times at camp because it's a time where we all come together and are all together as one community. So that's really awesome. Our kitchen team prepare menus as much as they can from scratch, including some really good desserts. There's some the cookies, as they were saying in the roadshow, are very outstanding. In terms of how the meal process works, is we eat family style. So basically, how it works is we ring a bell. Once the bell is rang, everyone kind of gathers up at the lodge, and after some intense hand washing, we all gather around and stand by tables of 12 with one staff member at each end of the table. We sing or read a quote to signal the start of the meal, and then we all eat together as one community. Something that we do is kids can volunteer to be able waiters or at High Trails Mabel waiters, which basically means you're like a server in a restaurant, so you get food out to tables and you help get refills as needed, and you help clean up the tables at the end of the meals. All of our meals are customizable, so everything is in its own dish. So if it's pasta night, everything is separated individually in between bowls. If that's sauce, noodles, protein, breadsticks, salad, all that is separate. So it is customizable. And if it's one of those days where you're like, oh, I just want to have buttered noodles or I want to have PB&J, that's totally fine. In terms of dietary accommodations, we do accommodate for those, of course. Our kitchen team works really closely with our year-round team, collecting forms from campers and staff so we can properly accommodate everyone's dietary needs. And that is gluten-free, dairy-free, also vegetarian options.
All right, so who do we hire, right? We have to hire a lot of staff. We can't run camp on our own. So we hire around 120 seasonal staff every summer at Big Spring and High Trails. They are like the passion and the heartbeat of camp. They make it happen and they make all the magic moments happen every day. We have staff apply from all over. Every state you can think of, from East Coast to the West Coast to the Midwest. We every year have some international staff as well. The interview process is pretty in-depth for us here at Sanborn. People are often surprised. We usually do at least 2 interviews that are usually 40 minutes to an hour long. And we do a lot of things, that are important, like reference checks, and we do background checks, things like that. But really, when we are looking for staff and choosing our staff, we're looking for that passion to be with kids. A lot of times we have people that maybe are education majors and want to get more experience with kids and building on that and the things they're learning in school. Sometimes they're recreation majors who love to be outside. Sometimes they're just a business major who really wants to have a fun summer hanging out with kids and being outside. And so we really look for that passion to be outside, to be a role model, and to take kids outdoors and share that passion that they have for the outdoors with kids. We do a very extensive staff training, 10 days, but a lot of our staff come even before that 10-day mark. Some of our staff, like our wranglers, they come several weeks before everyone even shows up, so that they know all that they can about horses and how to safely lead horse trips. Yeah, we love our staff. It is so fun to watch staff come and get to hang out with your kids and you all, and share their passion for the outdoors. So yeah, that's about our staff. And then Jenny will talk to us a little bit more about how to get to camp and travel for you all.
Thank you. So yes, a lot of people are wondering, how do I get to camp? What are the most common ways to get to camp? And so we do have about probably 2/3 of our campers will have their parents dropping off and picking up their campers at camp. And if you are a parent who drops your camper off at camp, you'll have the opportunity to meet your child's counselors, help them unpack, and help them gather some of their rental gear or gear that they might be purchasing while they're at camp before saying goodbye. And then we also have about 1/3 of our campers who will fly into camp, and they will fly into camp without their parents on the planes with them. And so we have both unaccompanied minors and kids who are a little bit older and not necessarily considered unaccompanied minors by the airlines. And for parents to know, on our end, that doesn't make a difference for us at all, because we will have our staff members all go through security and meet each and every camper at their gate as they walk off of the plane, whether they are considered an unaccompanied minor or not. And then we will hang out with them, help them get their bags, get some food, and get on charter buses to head back to camp. And we also recognize that there are a lot of families who live in the same city as other Sanborn campers. And so we also send parents recommended flights so that Sanborn campers can be on the same flight to and from camp as other Sanborn campers. And I'm going to pass it back to Krista.
Thanks so much, Jenny. So those are our top most frequently asked questions. And thanks to everyone who has been writing in the chat, talking about your favorite foods from camp or talking about your favorite mountains or trips that we have gone on. And now the year-round team, we are here to answer, what other questions do you have? What questions can we, the year-round team, and also some of these experienced campers on the call, help answer for you about camp this summer?